Jeffery Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, was one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. He was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in 1960, and from an early age, he showed signs of being troubled. Dahmer's childhood was marked by his parents' tumultuous relationship and his struggles with mental illness. His father was an analytical chemist, and his mother was a homemaker, but their marriage was plagued by infidelity and abuse. Dahmer was often left alone for long periods and struggled to form close relationships with other people. As a teenager, Dahmer began to develop an interest in dead animals. He often collected roadkill and dissected them in his backyard, experimenting with different ways to preserve the corpses. This fascination with death and decay continued to grow as he got older. In 1978, Dahmer was arrested for the first time for indecent exposure. He was sentenced to probation and therapy but failed to complete the treatment and was arrested again in 1982 for the same crime. This time, he was sentenced to prison. After being released from prison, Dahmer moved to Milwaukee and began to stalk and murder men, primarily African American and Latino, in 13 years. He would lure them to his apartment, drug them, and then strangle or bludgeon them to death. Dahmer's killing spree went unnoticed for years until one of his potential victims, a young man named Tracy Edwards, managed to escape and alerted the police. They found evidence of the murders in Dahmer's apartment, including human remains and photographs of the victims. Dahmer was arrested and charged with 15 counts of murder. He pleaded guilty but was insane and was sentenced to 15 consecutive life sentences. He was also diagnosed with necrophilia, schizophrenia, and antisocial personality disorder. While in prison, Dahmer became a target for other inmates. In November 1994, he was beaten to death by a fellow prisoner. The story of Jeffery Dahmer is a chilling reminder of the evil that can lurk in the most unlikely of places. He was a troubled individual who slipped through the cracks of society and could commit unspeakable acts without being caught for years. His case also highlighted the need for better mental health care and the importance of paying attention to warning signs. Despite the heinous nature of his crimes, Dahmer's story continues to capture the public's imagination. His case has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and movies and has inspired several copycat killers. But for the families of his victims, Dahmer's story is a tragedy. They lost their loved ones in the most brutal ways, and their pain and loss will never be forgotten. The life of Jeffery Dahmer serves as a cautionary tale of the dangers of unchecked mental illness and the consequences of turning a blind eye to the warning signs. Thanks for watching.